So, welcome into Above My Pay Grade. My name's Eric. Jerome Powell raised interest rates today, higher than expected. And I do love that more people are getting interested in economics because a lot of the problems we see in the United States, in my opinion, have a lot to do with the Fed and the distortion of the money supply. Now, what Jerome Powell did today is raise interest rates 0.75%. So essentially, by him raising those interest rates, it becomes more expensive for banks to borrow money, which means it's more expensive for you to borrow money from a bank. Go ahead and look at mortgage rates this year, and you'll see they kind of go up and to the right as the Fed is raising interest rates. Essentially, what this is trying to do is to tighten lending, so less people want to borrow money and hopefully stop inflation. Will it do that is the question. So there's two sides to this dynamic, and I'm by no means this massive expert. I'm learning as I go when it comes to economics. But the scary part for me is it feels like our elected officials don't understand just the basics of economics. And as who is it? I can't remember who said it, but a well-known economist said, first rule of economics is scarcity, as in not everyone can have the same thing. Not everyone can have $1 million. Not everyone can have a Ferrari. But the first rule of politicians is to forget the first rule of economics. Oh, Thomas Sowell said that. So Jerome Powell's trying to stop inflation. And the way I see it is there's two sides to this, supply and demand. The government can only do one thing. They can only affect the demand side by making money easier to borrow, by printing dollars and putting them into the economy, giving people stimmy checks. But you know what they can't do? Affect supply. And a huge, huge cost of the economy that affects all other aspects of the economy is oil or energy, any way you get your energy. If the cost of energy keeps going up, then inflation will keep going up. As simple as that. And how will the cost of energy go down? More dollars or more energy? It's very simple. And this administration is not doing anything to bring more energy online. And so when you look at the Fed and you look at the government and they say they're trying to control inflation, what they're really trying to do is control demand. And the way they control demand is by kicking you out of your job, by destroying the economy. That's the only thing they can do. They can't create more supply. So as the Fed kind of pivots and starts to raise interest rates even more, if there's no more supply coming online, specifically for energy, inflation's going to run hot. And the economy is going to crash because, think about it, how many more trips are you taking in your car? Or how many less trips are you taking in your car? People are reorganizing their summer, not taking vacation, etc. All of that is economic energy that comes from the cost of fuel. And if you're spending all your money on fuel, heating your home, and eating, just getting to work, what do you think that's going to do to the economy? It's going to obliterate it. That may slow inflation, but if there's, again, no supply coming online, no more supply coming online, why would the price drop? So either demand has to fall off a cliff, meaning people don't drive to work, or inflation's here to stay. So they're going to keep talking a big game, but there are two sides to this equation, supply and demand. Right now, they're trying to crush demand by the Fed raising interest rates. But a lot of people understand that there's another side to this equation, and that's supply. So sure, they may make everyone never want to drive ever again because gas is $10 a gallon. But what does that do to the economy? And there's another side to this equation that we have to keep in mind. And everyone's wondering really how hawkish or how serious is the Fed going to be about fighting inflation? because inflation was happening all last year, and they didn't do anything about it. In fact, they said it was, everyone remember the word Jerome Powell used? Transitory. Okay? So either he was lying back then, or he was really dumb and he didn't see it, because a lot of people saw it. Or he's lying now, because he's very serious. Okay? Everyone who has watched what the Fed does over and over and over again thinks he's not serious. He pretended to be today. We'll see. But understand this, inflation's here to stay until supply increases. And energy is what makes the economy go round. Pun intended, it is literally the fuel that is economic growth. Without it, or if the cost goes up, we're kind of screwed. Inflation's going to keep going up. So let me know if you think Jerome Powell's 0.75% interest rate hike today, higher than he said, is going to stop inflation, because I don't see it. It will cause, in my opinion, stagflation, meaning the worst of all worlds. Economy and GDP is going down and inflation's going up. Not good. Not good. And eventually he'll have to pivot. So if you're like me and just a regular person trying to do what's best for your family, I think inflation's going to stick around until we have people who understand supply and demand. If we have people who are constantly at war with the supply of energy, energy is going to cost a lot of money. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you guys in the next one. Peace.